He's back. It's your boy DMK in the building. Um, just coming to speak about a few things today. I'm gonna let everybody come on in. Come on in. Just hold up and fix this. I wanted to discuss a few things today on this fine February night, 2023. Some things that everybody ought to consider. A lot of us see being chosen as a trend or a fad, saying you're God's chosen, or God is with you, or one thing or the other. But there's some downsides that come to that, right? A lot of downsides that nobody really speaks about, right? We all have God chosen power. We are all high frequency beings from the cosmos. We've been sent here with a mission and a destiny and a calling, right? But that comes with some downsides. Tonight, I've come to talk about the ups and downs of that. Now, I want to open up with, some hot topics or things like that. If those of you who are new, this show is called King Talk. We do what we do here. Um, as kings, we make sure that we bring awareness to certain things that are going on in our world and in the society from a king's perspective. Not just any king, but a black king, a black God. We can say king all day, but a black God. Um, we've had some situations this week with the brat and her being pregnant and all of that good stuff. And we are beginning to see a transformation of gender norms, per se, between the male and female, opposite sex. There's a lot of turmoil and confusion going on, and there's a battle going on with people trying to figure out, either on one side, what in the world is going on, and is this hell, and how what in the world is going on? You got kids coming home from school talking about their friend so and so was a boy and now he's a girl. It's another spectrum of things going on. But as Erica Badu said, 10% of the people are creators, and they create, they own and run businesses and create and control things in the world. You got I forgot what she said, but there's 10%, and then she said the 5% are the observers. And that's what the chosen ones have to do. Just sit back and observe. Things are going on that we don't understand, and there's no judgment here. But at a certain point, we have to say, if everybody in the world decided to go that route, we wouldn't have any more people left. We would have a world full of test tube babies and artificial. It's Sodom and Gomorrah turned into, it's on steroids. But the one thing we refuse to do as a people is speak up. Chosen ones have to speak up. Chosen ones have to be people who aren't afraid to say, this is not of our nature. This is not what God intended. This is not what the Most High intended or his purpose for his creation. And you can talk about the Bible is this and the Bible is that. But every single person, every single civilization in history that twisted God's creation into something that it was not, they all got destroyed. Not only that, but there's really not even a trace of them left if people would not know where they were. They would have no clue. As the minister, Honorable Minister Farrakhan says, not even a blade of grass will grow over in Sodom and Gomorrah. Like I said, no judgment here. It's just true, unadulterated facts. We have people who are willing to stand on what they say. They stand on Christianity or stand on the Bible. But on the other hand, look at Da Brat and say, this is okay. And you can't tell a woman what to do with her body. I was on Facebook the other day and and you got to excuse me, y'all. I just smoked a little bit before this, so I have to be honest. So I'm a little bit even keel because dealing with the stresses of this sick world, every now and then you might have to do a little something, right? But back to Facebook, I was posting something. I reshared something about Da Brat and a minister who's, a family member of mine. And she preaches and, all of that, and they shout in church and all of this. But she said, you cannot tell a woman what to do with her body. And that's true. I'm not trying to tell Da Brat what to do with her body. I'm just saying, in my opinion, I believe that that's just not right. That's not natural. It's not anything that's going to advance society in any type of way, shape, or form. It's just going to generate more confusion for her and the child and everyone else involved, just like Dwayne Wade and his son. Just confusion. But what the world wants to hear is lies and what itching ears want to hear. But no, that's not what chosen people are going to do. They're not going to sugarcoat it for you. There's some things that I do and have done that I have to get on myself for. It's all about accountability. But what we have to do is make sure that we speak up. Because if we don't, like I said earlier, who will? After a while, you're going to see people, and I already know it. A lot of us may not live to see it, but it's coming to where people will say that they want to have sex with animals and dogs and cats and rats, children. You know, this is what is coming. We've got people who will stand by pedophilia. All of this child sex trafficking and everything else that's going on right now. There is no true people need God. There was no true revival that happened after the 2020 situation. The world needed it, but we didn't get it because we were so stuck in getting back to the norm instead of understanding what the Most High God was trying to reveal to us. And what he's still trying to, some say God's a man or a woman or whatever. I'll just say what he's trying to reveal unto you. If you're in tune, none of that other stuff should matter anyway. All of that is just an ego-centered argument to prove a point that doesn't even matter. God is within all of us, so he can take any way, shape, or form he wants to. Being chosen as a chosen one. And I can say that wholeheartedly, humbly, without any hesitation or regret. I feel like if you knew it, you would be happy about it too. Because we're all chosen. That's the secret. Every man and woman is a star. Some people are at the top and height of their of the world and in money and power and gain and influence, and other people are chosen to be lessons of what not to do. Let me say it again. Some people are chosen to be to the highest of the land. Some are chosen to be lessons of what not to do. God, like it says in Isaiah 45:7 in the book, the good book, it says that he's not all good. He has his hand in evil as well. So you can be chosen to whatever you feel like your heart desires to do, whether it be good or bad. It's all designed to come back, because at the end of the day, prophecy is how we move. Life is a script. All the deja vus that you experience, they're not just deja vus. That's you remembering the scene in the script that God created. We go through pain, yes. As a chosen one, you're going to go through pain. Whatever you're going through, it's going to sharpen you so that the next person who's been through worse or a little bit less can be influenced by your story. Everyone has, as Christians say, a testimony. Everyone has a story. Everyone. You just have to own it, right? Don't run from it. And I must say, as a chosen one playing on the keys, um, in church and religious settings, not just even religious settings, but settings where you have to carry a event and you're doing your thing and there's people basically getting their fix, their dopamine hit of music and getting their, I'm trying to look for the word. They're trying to, you're setting the tone and the frequency of the room for people. And they're all dancing and trying to move to another level as you do what you do. It takes you over, whatever it is. I don't know how else to describe it. Something that you're playing your keys and your notes or whatever. And, I'll play and I'll just feel myself leave. I know that sounds crazy, but Darius is gone and God comes in. Right? Some people say Holy Spirit, or some people say the other thing, their alter ego, whatever. Something comes in and they'll be like, how did you do that? How did you play that note, play that key? How did you do that run? It's not because of me. It's because of God. That's all. That's the only way I can explain it, because of me being someone who, let's say, and this is a true story, I used to imitate Ray Charles. Now, I didn't imitate the blind part, but I would imitate the playing keys part, because playing keys was always something that I dreamed of doing, but I didn't want. It's not something that I took serious, or anything that I really thought that I was ever going to do. I was a drummer, but I would imitate Ray Charles, when that movie came out, Ray. I manifested that. Manifested it. Uncle came over, showed me one key, how to play in one key. And I took that and ran with it. I did what I had to do. He showed me how to play a shout chord, shouting music in A flat. I took off running with A flat, went over to C sharp. After I conquered C sharp, went over to E flat and F, conquered those, went to G, went to B. Next thing you know, I'm doing my thing. Making beats, producing. Never wanted to do that. Never wanted to do that. But I got around my cousin who had a desire to be in that field, and he wanted to be like Pharrell, and I ended up listening to Pharrell. He wanted to be like Kanye. I ended up listening to Kanye, and I just loved it. And I got immersed into a whole nother world of music. And you see how things happen. You don't plan it, but it's God's design in your life. There's some things that happened in my life I wish would have never happened. But it works when I think back. It worked together to make me the man that I am, and I wouldn't take it back for anything in the world. Everything. That's why I'm so even keel. I'm so chill. You can't do much. I mean, I do have an anger management problem. I do snap at times, but for the most part, I'm just cool. Just don't bother me because I know that as a Pisces, I'm in Pisces season now. We water. I'm over here to just be a part and absorb, um, and consume at the same time. Because that's what water does. It consumes. If you jump in there and you don't know what you're doing, you'll get consumed, right? I'm here to um, be like the current and give some sort of, I would say, a baptism. A baptism. A rebirth. Things that were thought to be dead and past, gone. No, we're back. That's who DMK is. I'm back. I don't know who I was in my past existence because I feel like I have been here before. It's just something I can't run from. Call me crazy or whatever. But there's something that I've been sent here to do. That's what being chosen is all about. And God is with my tongue right now, as Farrakhan would say. I ask him daily, guide me and help me do what I need to do. And he does it. He does it. And this is the thing. Knowing that the divine God, the divine Most High Source is within us, and that we can tap into him anytime we want, there's nothing we can't do. Nothing we can't do. Being chosen, being someone who knows the power that you own and the power that you have. There's nothing that can stop you. Nobody that can stop you. Nobody that can block you. I grew up, the first church I played at was my uncle's church. What is that? Sunnyside? Out here in Houston. The motto of the church is all things are possible if you only believe. If you can believe, you will receive. That's all it takes. That is all it takes. Is just having the strength and wherewithal and the willpower to remember that every day. I had to put it on a vision board and put it up on the wall in my room so it could resonate. And people like to overdo it. Witches like to go and overuse the free will that we have. It's okay to do vision boards and all that other stuff. But we're not doing Ouija boards. We're not doing any of that. There's a difference. Somebody will say a vision board is witchcraft. God has given us power to do and move mountains and do things and shake up the very foundations of the world. So you can't tell me as a grown man that I can't do that. That's what I was sent here to do. And there are some downsides. Some of the downsides include loneliness. When you're a chosen one, you can't be around everybody else. You can't talk like everyone else. You can't think like everyone else. It's impossible. There's something, and it's a rare gem. You know, the Bible calls it the salt of the earth. The earth is not salty. Salt adds flavor, and it brings out what everything else is. You know, gumbo, you have all these different ingredients. Got your sausage, chicken, if you really know what you're doing, okra, and maybe some crab, maybe some shrimp, all your seasonings and bay leaf and everything. But if you don't put any salt in there, it's going to be bland and weird tasting. But the salt of the earth, which is all of us, the chosen ones, we bring out the flavor in this world. So it's impossible not to be lonely. We're rare gems. We possess certain energy. Other energies can't handle our energy. We invite people in and expect them to have the same respect and integrity, and they come in with a light that seems like light, but ends up being false light. And they end up being an agent in a spiritual war to come in, and everybody battles this spiritual war. You know, we have friends who get influenced by negative spirits all the time, but we love them through it, and we give them grace. But there's other people who really come to kill, steal, and destroy, and they want to come in and destroy what God has called us to do as chosen people. That's why it's lonely, you know. And most people in this world, unfortunately, are evil. This is an evil world. This is a place where we don't have much we have free will, but a lot of people use their free will. They're free to be evil. And free to be wicked. We're not free to be wicked. We're free so we can set the tone as far as prophecy and everything else. Us being free as free thinkers and free, that's the power that God has given us. But we don't know how powerful we are. So free will, we use it to do evil, and if we do use our power, it is not for good. Our free will is not for us. It's not for us. You know, I had a dream. I used to have this dream every night, and I wish I would have it again. But I was just it was like me and some friends of mine. We were like superheroes. I didn't know these people in real life or anything. I don't really have a lot of friends in real life. So this was strange to me. I knew these people, and like I would just jump and I'd be 1,000 feet in the air and just land on my feet, just like a superhero. I'd move stuff with my hands, but this is also just normal life. We're just running, playing, manifesting whatever we want. And the dream felt so real. And I feel like that's a metaphorical. I hope that's really what's going on in the dream world, but I think that's metaphorical for what's going on down here. We have power, we just sleep on it. And maybe in the new world that the Bible talks about, the new world, the new heaven and new earth, because heaven is going to come down to earth, we will be able to do that. They say we have glorified bodies and this, that, and the other. I really, truly believe that I'll be 21 again doing that. Now that'll be fun, because that dream just felt so real. Um, all of them, I have crazy dreams already, but that one felt real. But chosen ones, we have the power. We have the power, and it may get lonely. The next one, I went a little bit off topic there. Loneliness. The next one is, as a chosen one, you may be there are times that you may feel that I think different. Just give me time. You may feel there's a target on your back. And I'm going to speak very carefully because this is YouTube. And YouTube is very, at this point in the game, it's very risky for me to speak out because I'm a very blunt person. I just want to say it the way I say it. But 2020, hindsight is 2020 when you supposed to see clearly. It's 2020 vision. Everybody who got duped, they got duped. But there's a target on the ones who didn't get duped. Right? You see what I'm saying? You can't talk about the cure, you can't talk about the disease. But being chosen means that there are times that you may have to fight. Because in this war, spiritual war, we have to fight battles that our forefathers didn't have to fight. They fought hard, but our fight is much more sophisticated but diabolical. We've got some evil geniuses at hand. People who are trying to, and that's going to move into my next topic, but people who are trying to silence us, kill us silently, get us to take poison and do certain things and certain this, that, and the other. There's a target. The evil people in the world, they don't really want to kill you. They just want to make you go against your nature and go against God. They want to kill you as well, kill your spirit, kill your finances, kill your health, kill your body, everything. They come to kill, steal, and destroy, but it's really not that serious for them to get you into the ground. I mean, they do want to do the depopulation and all of that good stuff. And they will, and they are. However, it's your soul that they're worried about. This is a spiritual thing. Nobody's worried about it. In my opinion, it's gonna have to happen at a certain time, the whole depopulation thing, because people don't really want to mess up the economy right now. A lot of people believe all they have is time. I don't really think they're people, but at the same time, evil spirits and wicked spiritual wickedness in high places. But their goal and their intention and everything that they've set out to do is for your soul. We've got some weird stuff coming. And it's not just gonna it's gonna be interesting. It's not just gonna happen all at once. It's gonna happen faster than we think. But it's not just gonna happen all at once. We're gonna watch this thing play out. And even the very elect will be deceived. I won't be deceived. So you'll be lonely as a chosen one. You'll be isolated. You'll feel like you have a target on your back. Um, yeah, those evil spirits will come and try to get you, man. My Uncle Daryl used to say it all the time about people who battle drug addiction. He said, I really do believe people get attacked by spirits. My Uncle Daryl's house burned down twice. That I had went through a lot. Evil spirits attack people. My grandfather was chosen. He overcame a battle one time. I literally saw a spirit. Me and him were downstairs. I looked upstairs. I saw a spirit stomp across the hallway, black. Bam! Slammed the door upstairs, the guest room door. And I looked at him. I said, what in the world was that? He looked at me. What in the world was that? I told him what I had seen. He said, no, that was just the AC. These things are real. As chosen ones, we fight these battles. As a child, I had nightmares. One time I woke up from a nightmare and there was a black thing floating over me. And then I got on the covers, I got under and I looked over and it was standing next to me on the bed and it started moving away, walking around my bed, like just around the perimeter. And what made it go away was I heard my mother in the other room laughing, talking on the phone. But it's real. As chosen ones, we go through these things, can't explain them to anybody else. We have these, that's the next one. We have these abilities, clairvoyance, I can't name them all, I have to get more educated on that, but we have them. Dreams and visions, and we feel energy, and we don't know what else to do with it, and it's overwhelming. We can see things that we can prophesy things, There's some things that I wish I could have went back and told my grandfather, go to the hospital and get checked. Because I felt it then, but I didn't say it because I was like, no, I'm just crazy. He'll be all right. Pray for him. Because I saw it coming, I just didn't say anything about it. And it's not to blame myself, but at the same time, it's just the reality of being a chosen one. I had a dream about when my Uncle Daryl passed away, and this was years before, but it wasn't him. It was just a scene I thought it was just a bad dream. It was a scene from the funeral. Uh, and I was like, oh, that's just me, you know. But it ended up happening exactly like that about 7 years later. Um, and I was like, oh, that's what that was about. You know, these dreams that we get uh, as chosen ones, it can be overwhelming. And there's more, um, but you can't base yourself off other people when you're chosen. Basing yourself off other people is just like uh, casting a stone into water, into the ocean, because it's a vast. It's like you're casting a very precious stone actually into the ocean. There's no. It's like a waste. You have to be original and you have to be yourself and own that. And that's me talking to myself. You know, as I do more of these lives, I want people to be influenced to do better, be better. Think on a higher level because we're surrounded by evil. And I'm starting to believe a lot of our people, I'm starting to believe a lot of our people are lost in the sauce so much so that they're robots. They don't want to hear about the truth or think about anything of substance or anything that'll elevate their mind. They just want to stay in the comfort zone and stay in a state of oblivion, so to speak. But what's done in the dark will have to come into the light. Satan has to be exposed. And everything that was deemed conspiracy and this, that, and the other, the truth will come to the light. That's what the whole thing is about. And those of us that are asleep, you might not want to get caught in the wrong place because it's not going to be well with your soul. And that's the future of, listen, we're going to the next part, the future of America. The future, not of just America, but the world. Our future some people say prophecy or this, that, and the other. And I do believe we move by prophecy. In 2017, we had a solar eclipse. Went one way across the United States. Straight across. Halfway through that, we had COVID. 2020. Next year, there will be another solar eclipse that will go the opposite way across America in the diagonal position. Both of those solar eclipses make an X across the United States of America. Now, before you call me crazy or conspiracy theorist or anything like that, the Bible says that God communicates through the heavens as well as the earth. What are the heavens? up above that you can see. The sun, the moon, and stars. That's his too. He doesn't just speak down here. He speaks up there. All of the ancient people and ancient civilizations, they knew that. That's why they would make sacrifices on eclipses and this, that, and the other, because they knew that after a certain point of time, they were going to have to experience the end of their civilization. The sacrifices weren't just for fun. The sacrifices were for power, dominion, and control over land, territory, and everything else. It goes from the ancient days, ancient civilizations, all the way up to today, of course, because they sacrifice children and do this and everything else. Epstein Island, of course, they abduct children and do all types of weird, freaky stuff and sacrifice people. Celebrities are getting sacrificed. It's still happening. But we don't even realize that it goes back to the Pilgrim days. They brought the missionaries in to soften up the kill, and they were bringing the good news, and they feel like they could come in and bring about a certain even kill. We're going to make you guys a little bit, not all the way easy, but easy to the point where, sorry about that, to the point where we don't have to do much work. But then the Pilgrims came in and finished the deal. But that sacrifice, they knew what they were doing. Shedding blood for their land. Shedding blood on what they believe was their new territory. Practicing cannibalism, doing rituals with the bodies. Wasn't just, you got to know where they came from. These are people who came from England, people who came from Europe. They had been on that back then, making sacrifices and all of that stuff. They took what all of the past civilizations have done and used it for their benefit. That's why you say the Queen of England. Queen of England. They say she sacrificed, God rest her soul, children, and drank blood and did this, that, and the other. Goes all the way back to the king back then. Their bloodline, they believed that their blood was pure. That's why they sleep with each other and practice incest and all of that good stuff. These people are sick. Sick. But we, as black people, we just want to sit around and talk and make it seem like everything's okay, and we idolize and glamorize these people. And it's not even just them, it's our Jay-Z's and our Beyoncé's and this, that, and the other. Making sacrifices. But going back to I got off topic. Going back to America, the future of America. I believe After this next eclipse that happens in 2024, we are going to see an uprising like we have never seen before. We're going to see changes made in legislation. We're going to see changes in political structure that we've never seen before. It will frighten some, but for the people like me, it will bring joy because we've told you time and time again. Things will be uncovered about 2020. Things will be uncovered about the disease and the cure. Things will be uncovered because this is the age of revelation. I keep saying that. The 2020s is the age of awakening. 2020 vision. If you don't get it by now, it's 2021 or 2020. 2021 is like sequels. 2022, 2023, the third one, 2024, 2025. It's 9 different ways to look through the same lens. And in 2030 is and this is prophetic speaking. You can call me a liar or anything like this, but us as people, we have to know what's going on if we're gonna get down to a common goal and get down to liberation and freedom and get down to a point where we are in control of our own destiny and we don't have to look at each other as if we don't have to be crabs in the barrel, or because it ain't no we. I'm not one of I am a black man, but some of the stuff that I see going on, it's insane. And I don't want no parts of it. But we're going to have to get down to the nitty gritty in order for us to figure out where we are and who we are. Because a lot of us are lost. But you're going to see things unfold. Justice will run through the streets. Blood will run through the streets like water. And it won't be they said the revolution will be televised or it won't be televised. It won't be. It will be for a minute. It'll be a little bit of both. Because once people realize that this ain't a game, news anchors get hurt, news stations get burnt down, people end up dying for real. Game over. Then you start talking about martial law, and then you start talking about lockdowns all over again. They were priming you in that year for what's coming. And a lot of people, you can call me crazy and all of this, that, and the other. But only the strong will survive, and I'm surviving, baby. Not only am I going to survive, I'm going to thrive. I'm going to make sure that everyone who didn't take heed to the warnings that me and a lot of our other brothers and sisters have tried to give, I'm going to make sure that you guys feel the wrath of God. Through me. Not just through me doing some type of retaliation situation thing. But a lot of times we have to learn the hard way. Through tough love. God has to whoop you and chastise you, not through coddling and making everybody feel safe. He'll still save you and preserve you, clean you up, dust you off, but he has to process you. And if you're around me at that time when America is put in a position of reaping what it has sown, finally, you don't want to be on my bad side. Don't let the suit fool you, the skin suit. God has given me power, and he's given you power. You can't sleep on it, because in the end, if you sleep on it, you will not make it. In the future of America, we're going to see artificial intelligence come through like we've never seen before. It's going to make all of the end times movies look like Disney movies. Because when you're actually living through it, it's not going to be a joke. We think it's funny. All of the sex robots and all of the things that you think that is cute and all of that. But when you have a police robot and they've already primed your mind for black people being killed by police, you got a recipe for disaster, because robots can't be held accountable, but lives can't be brought back. And they can't be they can't be brought back. A lot of us out here, we don't know what the enemy has planned. But in 2030, I feel like it will be much clearer. Much clearer. In the future, I mean, we got artificial intelligence now, and we're going to make it cute and everything. But social credit scoring, all of that is going to be in the system, in the cloud. And if you don't understand what social credit scoring is, it's something that entails that if your score is not, and it'll be connected to your social security number, but it's to track you and control you and make you a new modern day slave. They are not going to make slavery, and it's going to come back. And that's been my whole thing with religion. I always said if slavery came back tomorrow, a lot of people would use God to justify it. But they won't use God to bring them out of the very thing that God brought them out of years and years ago with our forefathers. It took them years to figure it out as well. And we're repeating it all over again. We can't go backwards, but we are. And what y'all gonna do when your boy Trump gets back in? You know, we always think that he's on our side and this, that, and the other. Dick Gregory said, people don't understand the detriment of what voting in the lesser of two evils really means and will really bring about. That's how Hitler came to power. Got to make a stand, because time has not run out. Time's up. Time's not running out. Time has run out. It's not about picking a side at this point. It's about tearing it down. That's it. We don't have to have any other discussion. The orange man doesn't have your interest at heart. Beto O'Rourke doesn't have your interest at heart. None of these people who are put up and supposed to be men and women, Kamala doesn't have your best interest at heart. None of them. They could care less about you. They are selling you out. And when people are selling you out at a time like this, they really deserve to be decapitated. They really deserve to be punished, because that's what they have planned for you. You ain't, as minister, I watched Savior's Day yesterday. As the Honorable Minister has said many times before, you haven't seen anything yet. As sure as I am sitting right here, speaking as a prophet, and I don't even want to use that title, but that's just how I know how to describe myself. You haven't seen anything yet. This plane of existence that we call Earth, you know, a lot of things are getting uncovered about this place. You know, and Satan has to get uncovered. If the truth gets uncovered, the liar has to get uncovered. That's why as more truth gets revealed, more hell breaks loose. But you got to keep stomping on that devil's head with praise and with truth. Because praising God also brings about liberation. But truth will set you free. A lot of us don't even look up in the sky. You can look up in the sky and the sun and the moon are out at the same time, right at 1 o'clock p.m. People are just, they don't know that this is not a game. We've been lied to. Water is clear, but if you look out at the ocean, especially in Galveston, it's brown and dark blue. Look up at the sky. The sky is blue, but if you're in space looking down at the earth is blue, and everything else around it is black. Many things just don't make sense. You got people out here talking about Mandela effects and things of whatnot they've seen. And if you know what a Mandela effect is, a lot of people would say Chick-fil-A used to be CHIC filet. But it's CHICK filet. A lot of people, it's a lot of things going on. But us as people, we have to speak up, do our research, manifest things, because in our power, and this is me tying it together at the end, with using our chosen one power, we can't change the fate of the world, but we can change the fate and how we deal with it, and of our reality and how we deal with it. If you fight and Know that you are a soldier in a righteous army of people, of of souls, not people. Righteous army of souls who are going to judge the world, because in the Bible it also says that in the end the righteous will judge the wicked. Not just the angels, not just God, the righteous. And that's what we're doing right now. And I'm not a judgmental person, but I am a person who's going to tell the truth. We've got to do better. I'm going to do better. Everyone around me is going to do better. And we're going to see it all come to pass. I want to, I'm a little tired, invite everyone. I have a new album coming out March 31st. March 31st. I call this one the debut. It's called DMK. Got some real heavy hitters on there. And it's going to go down. Got some beautiful work coming. Taking music to the next level so we can elevate people. Elevate them to a higher level through music as well. Playing with frequencies and doing that and the other to ensure that that is done in a decent way, in a righteous way. Want to thank you all for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. DMK. This is King Talk. We're going to have some more. I'm going to be back next Monday. Don't know what I'm going to talk about. Soon I'm going to be back. I will give an update. But until then, vibrate high. Touch the sky. All right.